what's up, yo? What's up, man? I got a little lint on me. Day is 30. 330 days we in. The day is planning Sundays. So you know what I did? I made plans last night of what I was going to do today was finish that backsplash, which I did. I did do the backsplash, and I had some other stuff lined up, cutting the hair, fix the dryer, trim the hedges, whole bunch of other stuff that I had written down. But I said, if I don't do number one thing, boom, let's finish that backsplash. And that's what I did. So here's what happened. Woke up this morning, started reading my Bible. Go ahead and read a couple of verses out of that. What was I reading on? Matthew chapter 6. I think it was Luke 7 is what it was. It was Luke 7. So I was reading out of Luke this morning, and it was talking about, I can't remember what it was talking about. But I know the common theme for the day, because after I read that, it was about focus. Focus was the whole thing about the day. It's about focus. So then when I turned on the telly, saw my boy Steven Furtick. So I said I was going to watch his whole series. He got a whole series out on focus. And guess what he's teaching out of? Matthew 6 and 7. Seek first the kingdom. Asking it is given. Seeking you shall find. Knocking the door should be open. I said, man, that's right in line with what I need to be listening to. But he was saying that's focus. He was looking at it as focus. You know, seek first the kingdom, which is one thing, and everything else will be added. So what's the one thing that I can do such by doing to make everything else I do easier or unnecessary? And that's seek first the kingdom. It's in the Bible. The one thing is true. It's real truth. It's in there. So anyway, I said, man, that's awesome stuff. And I listened to him. He was talking about, he said, like when you first started your relationship with your wife, girlfriend, there was a certain level of focus. But after you get married, that level of focus, it goes to other stuff. Goes to the kids, goes to the house, goes to the job, goes to making money. That's what it does. It just goes off, and then the marriage kind of struggles a little bit. So that's what I'm doing right now. Then he said one other thing too that kind of really resonated with me. He said, a man shall leave his mother and father and cling to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. He was saying it as if, he said a lot of people think, he said he even taught it that it was like two halves coming together. He said nobody completes you. You shouldn't be looking for somebody to complete you. You're already complete and already have everything that you need to do your purpose. But if you're looking for other people, other things to complete you, then it can be futile. It can be futile. He says not two halves coming together. It's two wholes coming together and making one big new flesh. One greater flesh, two wholes coming to make one whole bigger flesh. That's what it is. Because Lord said when two come together, he there also. So when that two come together, it ain't just two, it's three. And since God is the Trinity, now it's five. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Just me and my wife getting on the same page, bringing the power of five. And that's what I've been working on. That's what I've been working on. You know, just tightening things up, just working with the hands, keeping the hands working and letting them stop being idle. You don't want idle hands, right? I don't want idle hands. But anyway, as the day progresses, another guy came on, man, and guess what he was talking about? He was talking about the same thing. Matthew chapter 7, he was talking about focus as well, too. That's all it was talking about today. Matthew 7, man. Seek first that kingdom and all these things will be added. Because I was reading about, it wasn't John the Baptist in this one. But he was talking about, you know, focus as far as, you know, a lot of times God tests us with this money deal. He said we always trying to get the money, make the money, do stuff with the money. He says it's a distraction. Oh, he was talking about idolatry. What things that he says you get more money, then you start to trust more in your accumulation of wealth than you do God. And he said that's idolatry. One guy told me once before, a little while back, man, said, man, if you go up there and talk to that customer, man, if you're scared to talk to that customer, tell that customer whatever, then you might as well bow down on the ground to them. Because if you're scared of them, then you saying that they greater than God. Bam. I said, what? That don't make sense. He said, yeah, whatever everything you got around there, and if you're afraid to lose that thing, then that means that you put that thing ahead of God. And I don't want material things to be ahead of God, but I'm telling you, man, I'm putting it all out there. I put it all in God's hands because I can't watch everybody in my family. You know what I'm saying? So I spent some time with him. And then, the guy was talking about, he said, if there's a level of anxiety in a certain area of life, that means that God is not over that area. You hide in that area from him. That's why you anxious. Lord say, don't be anxious for nothing. You can't change one of the hairs on your head. I mean, it was tearing Matthew up today. It was tearing it up. So I was sitting, I'm listening, I'm checking, I'm listening. Then my boy Hagee came on. And Hagee, Hagee kind of militant. He reminded me of the militant. But that's what he was saying. He said, man, look, we need to do some power. We need to use this platform. He was talking about writing the plan out. What the day is? Planning Sunday. He said you need to write your plan out. No matter what plan it is, you need to write it out in as much detail as possible. You gotta write it out. So I had me a little list. I wrote it out time I woke up. Just a scratch sheet of paper. See, here's the deal. Right? I was talking to another part of me, a new part of me. We had a new young lady, maybe 19 years old, started, want to get into sales. And I'm just trying to, I really wanted to go ahead and succeed. And I think I came down on her too hard. I put a little, she was already under some pressure, and I kind of put a little too much pressure. I said, look, it's all you. And when I say it's all on you, boom, she started crying. Oh, man, I'm trying the best I can. I said, I know. Hey, look, oh, my goodness, I push you a little too hard. But you got to make a plan now. You got to write something down. You and I talked the other day. You got to write something down. Oh, but I got my plan of this, but I can't plan for this because I don't know what the managers are. Everybody's pulling me every which way. I say they pulling because you ain't got no plan. You hadn't written nothing down. So from now on, I say you want to keep them off your back, write something down. I don't care if it's a little bit. Write something down. Show it to them. Say, this is my plan for the day. They won't be pulling you all kind of ways. If you got a plan and you show them, you got to let people know this is my plan for the day. So when somebody come up to you, just like my boy in the one thing, see, the boss come up to you, think you got, hey, boss, do I need to do that right now? Or sometime in the future, just make sure it get done. Oh, yeah, you ain't got to do it right now. Because she was reading, she had some stuff going on. And I said, have you been reading this book here? He said, well, the other boss came in and gave me another book to read. I said, let me ask you something. Did he say, read this book tonight? Because you can ask him clarification, full agreements. Don't make assumptions. Say, hey, boss, do you want me to have this read tonight? Then he would probably say, no, not tonight. Just put it in your library and then sometime just go ahead and thumb through and read it. That's probably what he's going to say. So that when you ain't reading, hey, then you prioritize that out. Hey, look, that's not. So you have to ask them, hey, is this something need to be done right now or sometime in the future? That's from the one thing. That's from the one thing right there. You got to prioritize it. Shuffle it up in your head. Because she was accepting all this. And I told her, I said, boom. I said, look, I said I wasn't going to say that much to you, but you kind of involved me again, asking me about this. And it really has nothing to do with you. But so-and-so put me in. That's not your boss. That's a coworker. You always go back to your boss, keep this down. Otherwise, you're going to have everybody your boss. Everybody putting something in your soup. You wouldn't tolerate that in the real kitchen. You wouldn't have all these people putting something in your food, would you? Because you got to eat it. No, you wouldn't. Go right to your boss. But who is my boss? Say, look, you got to get clarity on that. Got to get clarity on it. And I know I squeaked a little hard, but there was a part of me that I was squeaking. I tell you, yesterday, man, I squeaked 2 people. Friday, I squeaked somebody hard. I squeaked a part of me on being he said, Grant Cardone say that I resent my clients. He said, if you resent anything, it's because you don't have enough of it. So if you resent people with money, it's because you don't have enough money. If you resent people with cars, because you don't have enough cars. If you resent people with knowledge, it's because you don't have enough knowledge. He said, but you got to put work to it. My daughter was telling me that Will Smith said, man, look, man, ain't nobody going to outwork me. And you smart and all that stuff, but that smarts don't mean nothing if you can't put it to work. He said, I know a little bit and I can outwork you. And if I can't outwork you, then I hire somebody. Boo, he said that, I added that. But that's what my boy said, delegate it. Everybody can't know nothing, you build a good team. Delegate it. Man, if I know I need that traction, that's where the smarts come in at. Delegate it, pick the team. So that was crushing, right? That was crushing. Day going smooth. I'm through with that. I'm sitting back, eating me a nice salad. Salad's delicious. And I got sidetracked a little bit. And then my son, you know, I said, man, look like I need to go and take me a little nap, you know, enjoy the day off, you know what I'm saying? So I said, I want to go to the store. I want to get me a malt. Yeah, I want a malt. He's been talking about going to these malt shops and they've been tasting the same. I said, look, why don't you just make your own malt? You make your own Oreo blast. Your mama got a blender. Why don't you just go to the store? They sell the malt stuff at the store. You got to look, oh yeah, they got it right up there. Let's go. Boom. So I rode up there with it. Spent a little camaraderie with it. Me and my son, toe to toe, we just going through, just hanging out with him. Just nice, hanging out with him. Go in there and get the malt, come back, and then we get back, and then they start talking about the 10 Rings. They say, man, we go to movies tomorrow. No, we can't go tomorrow. Well, let's just go today. Hey, you want to go today? Boom. Hey, I went with all the kids to the movies. Yeah, we went and checked out the 10 Rings, just hanging out with them. I drove, just listening to them talk, hanging out. You know what I'm saying? Just loving it. Just got back, and then I had to go and work on this dryer. My dryer went out. It's probably just this little fuse right here. That dryer ain't got a lot of moving parts in it. It ain't really complicated, you know what I'm saying? It's really very simple in its operation and performance. So if it ain't coming on, you know, probably ain't got no power. That's what it was right there. So I checked that out tomorrow. But I did get a little sidetracked, ate me a little ice cream because my wife said that she wanted the windowsill tiled as well too. That involves some additional skills and equipment for the weird looking corners on there. So I gotta plan that out. Cause I was hoping to go ahead and get this rest of this kitchen grouted tomorrow. You know, we can't still do that. I could just buy the grout stuff and just grout it tomorrow. See what I'm saying? I can do that. Because it's gonna have a mixture on. We're just gonna have to buy the whole thing. That's what it's gotta buy the whole thing. That's what we gotta do. But anyway, that's what it's all. Maybe I go ahead. I know I'm gonna cut my hair tomorrow. We're gonna trim some hedges, me and her. We're gonna go out and do some stuff and buy some stuff. We may get into some ground. We may not. May barbecue tomorrow's Labor Day. We don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna do something. But I still got my list. It's still part of my plan. Then I got my 411 I wrote on there, but not for Monday. It's gonna be for Tuesday. It's gonna be a short week, so I'll run out of time. Oh my God! Yes, and we're gonna crush it. We're gonna use this time thing to kind of crush that thing. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're gonna do. Well, gotta have a plan. I told my son as he's watching this movie, now he wants to be, you know, in the arts, in that film. He likes that Marvel. I said, look, when these credits roll up, pull your camera out and get to snapping pictures of these companies coming up, and we gonna call them. You know, I don't know what he was doing. He was doing something. He heard me, but the symbiote was all on him. You know what I'm saying? The symbiote had him doing something else, trying to look one up. And say, they going up. He said, I just have to come back and get. And symbiote said, hey, let's just look it up now. You know? Then he said, he gave us, said, look, I got a couple of them. I got enough. I said, no, look, hold on. You ain't got enough. The only time you have enough is when you got the job. Then it's enough. But right now, you ain't got enough. You need to get as much as you can. Now, that's another thing that I'm working on with applying that pressure that pressure got to be there. I say, look, you got to write your schedule out. Got to be written out. Some got to be written out. You can't wing it every day. You got to be working on skill every day, honing the craft. The guy in the 10 rings said, man, look, how'd you learn those skills? Man, look, for day in, day out, every single day, we trained. Day in, day out, training every single day. That's how I got this good. That's how everybody get good. They get trained on the one skill. They got the one skill, go ahead and crush it out to a high level, and then everybody just come in around it. That's what they do. That's what they do. And that's what we doing now. We working the mind. In the movie say, as you work the body, you got to work the mind as well too. The mind got to be worked too. Can't be all brawn and no brains. So you know my plan. You know what I'm going to do tomorrow. You know what you need to do. So do it to it. Do it to that like. Do it to that thumbs up. Do it to that share. Do it to that subscribe. And do it to life.